from Season 4, Episode 3, How Victor Knows the Man in Yellow. There's a moment in from Season 4, Episode 3 that feels different from anything the show has done before. It's not loud, it's not chaotic, there's no monster attack, no sudden jump scare, but it hits harder than all of that combined. Victor sees something simple, a piece of yellow clothing, and completely breaks down. Not just fear, not just panic, recognition. And that moment quietly confirms one of the biggest mysteries in the entire series. Victor doesn't just know about the man in yellow. Victor has known him for a very long time. So the real question isn't if Victor knows him. The real question is, how does he know him? And what exactly did he see? Because once you answer that, you don't just understand Victor, you start to understand the town itself. Section 1. Victor is not like the others. Before we even talk about the man in yellow, we need to understand something fundamental about Victor. Victor is not just another survivor. He is the only known character who didn't arrive in the town as an adult, confused and unprepared. He grew up there. He experienced the town at its worst, long before anyone else we know arrived. And most importantly, he survived a moment that no one else did, a massacre. Everyone around him died. The town was wiped out. And Victor, just a child at the time, was the only one left alive. That alone should tell you something is different about him, because survival in From is never random, especially not survival like that. Section 2. The child who saw too much. Now imagine that moment from Victor's perspective. You're a child. You don't understand the rules of this place yet. You don't know what the monsters are, how they work, or why they're doing what they're doing. All you know is that people are dying, and you're watching it happen. But here's where Episode 3 changes everything, because it suggests something terrifying. Victor didn't just see people die. He saw what caused it, and not just the monsters we've seen. Something else, something higher, something more aware, something like the man in yellow. Section 3. Why the jacket matters. The reason the yellow jacket scene hits so hard isn't because of what it is. It's because of what it represents. Victor doesn't react to danger the way others do. He's been around too long for that. He doesn't panic at night noises. He doesn't collapse when monsters appear. He's adapted. So when something does break him like that, it means one thing. Open quote. He's not reacting to the present. He's reacting to the past. Close quote. That jacket isn't just clothing. It's a trigger, a key that unlocks something Victor has been holding back for years. And the moment he sees it, everything comes flooding back. Section 4. Trauma and memory. Here's something the show has been quietly building since Season 1. Victor doesn't remember things normally. His memories are fragmented, scattered, hidden inside drawings, routines, and behaviors that don't always make sense to others. But that's not because he's confused. It's because he's protecting himself. When a child experiences something too overwhelming, the brain doesn't process it like a normal memory. It breaks it apart. It hides it. It turns it into pieces that are easier to carry. That's exactly what happened to Victor. So instead of remembering the man in yellow clearly, he spent years drawing things he doesn't fully explain, avoiding certain topics, reacting to specific symbols without knowing why. Because deep down, the memory was always there. It just wasn't complete. Until now. Section 5, Episode 3, The Memory Returns. Episode 3 is the moment where those fragments finally connect. The jacket isn't just familiar. It's exact. The color, the presence, the feeling. It matches something Victor has seen before. And that's when his brain stops protecting him. That's when the memory comes back. Not gradually, not softly, all at once. And that's why his reaction is so extreme. Because in that moment, Victor isn't just standing in the woods. He's back in that night, back in that massacre, back in the moment where he first saw the man in yellow. Section 6, What Victor Actually Knows. Now here's where we go deeper. Victor doesn't just recognize the man in yellow. He understands something about him that no one else does, because he's seen what happens when the man in yellow is involved. And it's not the same as the monsters. The monsters follow patterns. They hunt, they wait, they play by rules. But the man in yellow, he feels different. More controlled, more intentional, less like a creature, and more like something that's part of the system itself. So when Victor saw him as a child, he didn't just see death. He saw something orchestrating it, something behind it, and that's what truly terrified him. Section 7, Why Victor Never Spoke About Him. This is the part that makes everything connect. If Victor knows all of this, why has he stayed silent? Why hasn't he warned anyone? Why hasn't he explained what he saw? The answer is hidden in Episode 3's central theme. Knowledge has a cost. Victor learned that lesson a long time ago, not through words, through experience. He saw what happens when people get too close to the truth. He saw the consequences. And instead of fighting it, he adapted to it. He stopped asking questions. He stopped digging deeper. He chose survival over understanding. Because in this place, understanding is dangerous. Section 8. The possibility he was spared. Now we get to the most unsettling part of this entire theory. Victor survived. But why? Out of everyone in that massacre, why him? There are only two real explanations. Either he was incredibly lucky, or he was intentionally left alive. And in a place like this, luck doesn't feel like enough. So what if the man in yellow saw him? What if he knew Victor was there and chose not to kill him? That changes everything, because it means Victor's survival wasn't accidental. It was allowed. Section 9. What that really means. If Victor was spared, then his connection to the man in yellow goes deeper than just memory. It means the man in yellow is aware of him. Victor has been part of this system longer than anyone else. His survival might serve a purpose we don't fully understand yet. And that's terrifying because it suggests Victor isn't just a witness. He's part of the design, even if he doesn't realize it. Why his fear is different. This is why Victor's reaction in episode 3 feels so different from everyone else's. The others are afraid of what might happen. Victor is afraid of what he knows will happen. He's seen it before, he's lived through it, and now he's realizing it's happening again. That's not fear of the unknown. That's fear of repetition. Section 11. The big reveal. So when you put everything together, episode 3 isn't just showing us that Victor recognizes the man in yellow. It's revealing something much bigger. Open quote, Victor has always known more than he lets on. Close quote. Not because he wanted to hide it, but because remembering it is dangerous, because knowing it comes with consequences, because once you understand how this place really works, you can't go back. Final explanation. So how does Victor know the man in yellow? Because he encountered him as a child during the original massacre, saw what he was capable of, and buried that memory to survive, until episode 3 forced him to remember. That's the answer. Simple on the surface, but incredibly deep once you understand what it means. Victor's breakdown in episode 3 isn't just a reaction. It's a revelation, a moment where the past finally catches up to the present. And now that he remembers, now that he knows for sure that the man in yellow is back, the real question is, what happens next? Because if knowledge has a cost, Victor might be the one who's already paid it. And this time, he might not be able to survive it again.